Welcome to King Cam's Ujumbe's podcast. Ujumbe means message. And the message today is our youth and the education system. Our youth and the education system. See, the fifth point of the Black Panthers 10-point program is we want decent education for our people that exposes the true nature of this desolate American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present day society. Before the beginning of the school year, I would ask my students a few simple questions, such as, what is education? Hmm? By definition, the word education means the act or the process of educating or of being educated. The act or process of educating or of being educated. The knowledge or skill of obtain or develop such a process. The develop or developing a person's mental moral growth. Get this. The Latin root word for education is educare. In other words, to lead out. Therefore, as educators and students, we both are in the process of being led out. Somebody's asking, out of where? Out of ignorance and illiteracy. Simple. The other question is, what is civilization? So we understand what education is, but what is civilization? That is an advanced stage of development in the arts and sciences, accompanied by corresponding political, social, and cultural complexity. Civilization. With that being said, if we receive a quality education, that will lead us from one level to the next, lead us from darkness to light, from ignorance to scholarship. We as young people, Black people in America, we should graduate and be able to make a civilization. That should be the goal of education, to teach us how to make life as we know it better. In that process, we're making other people better. I heard I heard something that was very profound that brothers would say, we should be making the uncivilized civil. In order to come out of ignorance, in order to change the world around us, we must first see the institution of education as it really is and realize what it is designed to do to us as people, as a people. That is to produce a product. You understand? A product. Yes, to produce a product, not a man, not a woman, not a strong Black man, not a strong Black woman, but a product. Why, you ask? What do you mean a product? Yes, you have your diploma, you have your piece of paper, but we find ourselves fully equipped to pass any standardized exam, any SAT, ACT, knowing all the skills and tricks to pass it. However, we can't take care of ourselves. That's a product. We all know something is wrong here. We all know that about the school to prison pipeline. We understand that. About the new programs that is only good for 1 year, maybe 5. And when it's time to serve you, as you come along through this system, it's gone. The grant money is gone. It's dried up. Something is wrong when you are suspended or put out of school more than others. Or how those teachers talk to you crazy and you really don't know why. And you didn't say anything. You didn't do anything. Something is wrong here. When you can't talk with your friends, when our young people can't laugh and joke without somebody accosting them, asking them why they're here or where they're going. Something is wrong when our young people are being herd like cattle to the lunchroom. Something is wrong when there's a lot of money flowing into these school systems and our young people do not have the tools and the technology or even the Wi-Fi to do what they're supposed to do. That's something wrong. Our young people are being treated like criminals and not a scholar. Our young people, they tell us to cut our hair in order to play a sport. To play a sport? What your hair have to do anything with that sport? Tell our youth to shut up and play. Even some adults. As a matter of fact, if our young people are being bullied or targeted by other students or teachers, they feel lost. They feel isolated, disrespectful. And then what happens is when they try to, all they can do is report it. Report it, follow the proper chains, and send your emails and contact counselors and so on. But it still is happening. And now our young people are doing what? Killing themselves. Something is wrong. We have campus police are here to aid and protect our young people, but they're slamming our kids more often than police officers on the street. They should be out there assisting our young people and not criminalizing them. Now, you have to realize that schools should be a safe place for our young people. And if everyone does their part, it is okay. Now, something is wrong, not with our youth, not with our children. Something is wrong with the education system, but it is designed to do exactly what it's supposed to do. This education system is designed to be what it is, and that's the problem. It's true the school system is for, uh, as we know it, we know the school system is broken, yet it works perfectly for others. Let's be honest. It's designed and handcrafted to serve the will of others who do not look like you or I. As long as you do what you need to do, you should be fine. As long as you pass that test, you should be good. As long as you can play ball, for who? For them, you'll be all right. Yes, they want you to pass the exams, not to show that you have met or mastered anything, but to get more grant money. Something is wrong there. It's designed to serve them and not the people. That's why you would notice throughout the school year, there's a massive influx of students that come in and out of public schools. Why? Because there's a dollar attached to those names for ID. There's another reason why, because the reason why they're trying to right now push us back into schools, whether it's physically or online, is because football. They want they lost the basketball money. They're trying to get that money, but they're trying to get that football money back. It has nothing to do with education. It has a lot to do with money. And then at the end of the day, can we remember what lessons that was taught? Yeah, you got your credit, you got your A's, but they got their product. Now, dealing with our schools, dealing with our school system, students, our young people have to pay attention to those grades because are you satisfied with that 70? Really? Is that the best you can do? As adults, we have to make sure our young people are striving to get the highest number. On the flip side, the issue sometimes those exams may be objective, but it can be subjective depending on who's doing the grade. So we have to fight for our children's grades as well. Now, speaking of grades, so we know the education system is broken for us, but it's perfect for others, and it's designed to produce a product and not a person. Let's look at these grades. Speaking of product, one has to know there's a difference between getting a grade and mastery. Hmm? There's a major difference. Upon receiving an A plus, you would naturally assume that the student understands the information so much that they can teach it to someone else. That's mastery. The grade A goes back to the days when the highest quality of milk, of milk or cheese received an A. The system is producing a product, whereas the one who received the lower grade does not. Matter of fact, it's casted aside. In the pursuit of education, That is the wrong mentality to have. There may be a student that simply submitted their assignment late and got a low grade. That particular low grade does not reflect the students whether or not they mastered their subject or that information. That's a product. Yes, there is a difference between getting a grade and mastering. You and I, we as students, we as learners, adults, and youth, we have to take it to the next level. Okay. Because sometimes our young people right now, they're passing the class, but when it comes down to tests, they're failing it. On the flip side, some of them are passing the standardized test with flying colors and failing the class. But one who knows the concept of mastery and skill will most likely become the doctors and chemists and botanists and physicists of the world. Matter of fact, if you are mastering that course, you can teach it to the class. A plus. We have to do more than just make the grade like a product. This is the approach that everybody else is taking, but we got to be different this year. We got to be different. This year, let us challenge ourselves to go to the next level, to be mathematicians, be scientists, dig deeper, be historians, be the expert and the master of that information. Be the mathematician, be what you need to be. Our young people, I'm talking to you. In the education system, what have you learned about yourself? Matter of fact, let's think about it. In the education system, what have we learned about ourselves? I'm not talking about the thing back in middle school when they finally mentioned black people. When they finally mentioned black people, you had spent about 5 or 6 years in school already. And by the time they mention any African Americans in any shape, form, or fashion, it'll be them coming off the slave ship. This is not the beginnings of the black man or woman. By design, the education system is not placing you in your rightful place in history. You came from power, you came from nobles, you came from kings, princes, educators, theologians, artists, writers, professors, military generals, chiefs, farmers, musicians, centuries before the first ship came to get you from the coast of Africa. Eons before Columbus, the Africans had a high culture. The reasons why. Here's the reason why. Somebody said they learned more on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook about African Americans in African history. They learn more on those platforms than in high school or in school in general, is because the reason why they don't teach you about yourself until maybe the 10th or 11th grade is to make sure you're conditioned to be a servant and not a master, a slave and not a king. That's what it is. Conditioning. They want a product, not a person. They will say something, oh, it's not on the standardized test. So what? There's a lot of things that are not on the standardized test, but it's out there. It's being pushed. Also, if our young people have the knowledge of self and knowledge of our culture, it will empower our young people to do for themselves and for their family. Self-reliance. Once again, the goal is to, upon graduation, it's to master that information and to make civilization, to make life better as we know it. And not just say, hey, I graduated, on to the next. This is the education system as it stands today, designed for others and not for us, to make a product and not a person, okay? To make us in bondage and not freeborn, game changers of royal, industrious, and noble. Yet, this is what I believe. There is hope. We can change that. How can we do that? Advocate for Black studies in your school district. African history as well as African American history. going from the pyramids right down to the present. That's how we can do that. Push for African history and African American history in the schools. We're not just talking about Black History Month. Here's the issue that I have with African or African American history in the schools. It will normally go from 1865 all the way up to now, as if post-slavery, anything after that would be seen as progress. On one hand, we'll say we had the first Black mayor. On the flip side, we have ran empires for eons, for centuries. Oh, we had the first Black nurse or doctor. So what? We made medicine. See, it pales in comparison. Oh, we had the first Black general. We had warriors, men and women that led us into battle. So we got to have the whole story. We can do from the pyramids all the way up to, say, the 1500 AD, then from 1500 AD all the way up. We can do that. Push for that in your schools. But if you cannot, and if they refuse to do so, this is what you can do. Share what you know. Teach what you know. So some schools have things in place to address racism, but in times such as these, it's good to make sure their policies are current. Go to the meetings. Go to the school board. Don't just wait till it's the last minute and things are just blown out of control. Have a paper trail. Say that you show and prove that you signed this and you submitted that and you mailed this and did that. Go to the meetings. File the paperwork and make it happen. Advocate for Black studies. There are mentoring programs as well at schools such as like various male leadership programs, Omega Lamplighters, Kappa League, and others, but we need more. If we are lacking, fill that gap. Don't just say, hey, it's unorganized and I don't deal with folk like that. No. You see a need, feel a need. Learn self-reliance, not just talking about it, not just posting some on social media saying what they ain't doing and this is not happening or whatever. You do it. And some of you would like to, so we have the advocates in the schools. We have the mentoring program. On the other hand, some of you would like to start your own business, or your parents are, or there's some CEOs out there. Some of these young people got parents that are bosses and CEOs. This is what you could do. We need to push our young people to go to college. Yes, go to college and learn how to take their family business to the next level. See, these Fortune 500 companies didn't just happen overnight. The young people took on what? The family business. And let's change the education system. How? By having a clear objective. The issue with a lot of these movements and a lot of these groups out here is because the objective is not clear. You know, we're caught up in the other things that come up, the concessions, but we come in and dealing with the education system, which is designed to make a product and not a person, and it's designed to help one group and not the other. We have to have a clear objective, not the one they give us, not the one saying, hey, we want to be a premier school or we want this top grade by the state. No. Is it helping our young people? Okay. And this is what we should do, whether it's in school, college, or even in our as adults. Write down the problem that you want to solve. Write down the problem you want to solve. And then write down some goals as to how to solve that problem. That's the objective. The problem I noticed was the lack of knowledge of self in African history. So I decided to put it out on social media. Then what you need to do is surround yourself with others who can help you solve that question, solve that problem. Read books. I don't care what it is, read something. So we have advocating Black history, mentoring program, young men and women, because our young women need mentoring as well. Take the family business to the next level, have an objective, read a book. No, don't watch 3 or 4 hours of TED Talk and lectures. That's fine, that's supplemental, but put something in your hands where your eyes are reading the words. It doesn't have to be history. It could be poetry, politics, it could be on economics, whatever you love to do, study that. There's people that are out there that's crafting. They're doing crafts and making things with clothes and jewelry. Study that. Read something. If you're gonna read, if you are, if you're gonna read Martin, read Malcolm too. If you're gonna read Booker T. Washington, read W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey. But don't just stop there. Read about the military might of Shaka Zulu, about Tutmosis III, Ramses II, Colonel Charles Young, Huey P. Newton, Baduye of the Sokoto Caliphate. Read about Angela Davis. Read about Ashada Shakur. Read about them. Read about Benjamin Banneker and many others. When you read, you find out great things, not just about the people, but about yourself. Here's the thing before this education system kicked off, centuries ago, we made universities, we made uh, we made pyramids, we made all these wonderful things. Matter of fact, we had universities long before our beloved HBCUs. We had the University of Sokoto in Timbuktu, University of Alexandria down in Egypt, Luxor and Thebes. We had these places already made for us to do what? Make a civilization. To do what? To make the world better around us. We made castles before the Europeans. Yeah, the older castles in Europe was made by Africans. We made pyramids. We made hip hop. The light bulb filament. The world can't see without us. Cell phones, gas masks. We made medicine and conducted surgeries with no side effects. We had democracy long before the Roman Empire, forged kingdom and destroyed others, led emancipation movements and step shows. We played chess and taught others how to play. Most of all, with this knowledge, we learned how to love and protect each other and our families. You are awesome. You are intelligent. My name is King Cam, and this is Ujumbe's podcast. And I just talked about our youth in the education system. The education system is designed to make a product and not a person, but we can change that. If you ever want to be on my podcast or even sponsor the podcast, you can feel free to message me or email me at kingcam at nsffatherhood.org. Or, if you want to be on the show or on my Midnight Oil show, feel free to contact me. But not only that, hit the follow button and share this information. All right? See you next week. Talk to you later.